Let's talk about it. Girl, hold on. Let me see if I got some notes over here. I'm trying to remember what all happened on Real Housewives of Atlanta. First things first, I do want to talk about Marlo kicking out her nephews, which I felt like
Oh
was
my
not
gosh.
right. I don't think that was something she should have done, especially with these kids constantly being bounced around all over the place. And then because you feel like you can't take it, you just can't just throw them out whenever you want to. And honestly, she says, oh, what she says to the ladies, well, I told them. No, I think she said it on the after show. Well, it's not like I just gave them to anybody. I gave them to my sister. I gave them to my sister, somebody that I took care of. But you also told your sister you don't care where the hell they go. They just got to leave your house, like drop them off wherever. But your sister was like, well, just give them a 30-day cleanse. I just felt like Marlo she was wrong for that, in my opinion. You know, I do understand her not having kids ever before. I get that. I understand the pressures, but I feel like that's the same thing. Some moms that this is their first child or first set of children together that they have to like deal with themselves all around the same time. So I just feel like they don't really have the option to walk away or just here you go. Some of them do.
Mhm.
And what do they do when they do that? We label them accordingly. So Marlo, you took on the responsibility to be they Monty, so you're gonna have to show up. And unfortunately, this is what comes with the territory. You're going to deal with things that's going to happen in school that you're really not going to want to deal with because you got your own SHI going on. But you
Mhm.
have to navigate it and figure that part out. What are y'all thinking about that?
I think Marlo wanna be Uncle Phil so fucking bad. Um, when they first came on the show, all she did was talk about how she took them from the projects to private school, from this to designer. And it still wasn't good enough at the end of the day to solve some of the issues that they had. But what I hated the most was whenever she kicked the boys out, she was looking for validation from the other women that she was a good parent because of all the stuff that she bought for them. She
Mm-hmm.
seeked validation from Sonya and Sheree, and they didn't give her that validation. So she took her ass over to Kandi. Kandi didn't give her that validation. Um, I think it's just generational neglect, basically, from Marlo's mom to Marlo's sister to her kids, and who knows before that. But at some point in time, Marlo do the work. I don't have any sympathy for Marlo at all when it comes to her feeling a way about the kids acting up. And Bondi mentioned a good point a couple weeks ago whenever she put them on FaceTime with their mom. That was evil in itself. She's using the kids, and I hate to see it. I feel like a lot of times people who go through a struggle in life, they can either heal from it and become stronger, or they either use it as a crutch or a way to manipulate. And that's what Marlo has done.
And with that being said, I want to say shout out to Kenya because I feel like Kenya has been healing from her shit slowly but surely, nonetheless. I'ma just go ahead and tell y'all, Marlo ain't shit. You have, I think, saw these children as a storyline as soon as it was available to you. And I feel like it was only a matter of time where we would see that you were perpetrating like you really cared about them. And you may love them, but I don't think you know what that looks like exactly because you didn't experience it yourself. And that's unfortunate. But like I said, as soon as you made those children responsible for their mother's rehabilitation, you put them at a disadvantage for a
Mm,
storyline. And
mm.
she was doing that shit with the crying and all of that. That shit made me feel like that was fake. I don't
Yeah.
care what nobody say. Okay. And now the boys are acting out. And I don't even know if they're really acting out or if you're lying and saying that they're acting out so that you can make it seem like they're giving you a hard time and so you can use them as a storyline. But I
Ooh.
will say this either way, the way you talk to people and the way you interact with people and the way you have conflict with people is going to teach those boys how to behave. So when they curse their teachers out and tell them about their pussy mouths and how they're not being paid enough to argue with a child, just know that you taught them how to behave that way.
Oh, wow.
I noticed, and Bonnie, good point. She could be lying and saying that they're acting out because Marlo is for stunts, and those boys are old enough to know whenever the stunts are happening. For example, the first episode of the season, or maybe it was the second, whenever they showed her and her Monty life, and the boys was downstairs with the crust still in their eyes, but they was eating breakfast. She was talking about how she sends them out the door with breakfast every morning. But one thing she said to the boys was, "Hey guys, I know it's really early," which tells me you don't have a routine with them boys the way that you're trying to act for these cameras. You're trying to act like you on your P's and Q's and you really not. Because if you really were on this routine, the boys wouldn't have crust in their eyes eating breakfast. They would be used to it and they would be out the door, but they didn't even want to participate in your foolishness. So that was stunts from the get-go.
Which now got me wondering if that is a scheme that Marlo set up to come to us with the BS. Because if this is how the kids normally are, I guess it just happened to be caught on camera, and she probably felt like she did a bad job at acting or whatever. So that's why she's being so hard on herself. And then she concocted a whole nother plan of, hey, y'all gonna have to go ahead and get out because now I feel a little embarrassed and I need to get back to me for a second. I just think she handled this just all completely wrong. If they mama has somewhat abandoned them for whatever, drug usage or whatever she got going on, like, don't be that person. You feel what I'm saying? And then I also felt like it was a bit selfish to me because you already see your sister got four. What she said, her sister got 4 toddler boys.
Yes.
This woman got 4 toddler boys, and you don't care. You over there stressing about the two grown little boys that really can, do for themselves. Not everything, but a lot of things for themselves. Are you serious? And then you gonna dump those boys off on your sister? So now your sister got probably herself, whoever with her, them kids, exactly 6 people, probably 7.
Like that was
like,
a situation
outside of herself.
Everybody involved. Like that was.
It was.
Girl.
And she said her sister is a nurse. So them kids are like, who's watching the kids on the days that her sister is at work for 12 hours?
Michael and William probably watching them 4 kids now. So next time when you come back to me, you're going to be happy that this is your setup and you're going to do what I tell you to do because you don't want to go back over there where you got to be big brothers to the 4 toddlers, right?
Ooh.
She ain't shit.
Ooh, I ain't think about that. Ooh, shit. And I didn't even know her sister was a nurse. I ain't catch that part, but damn, that's a lot of hours she got to put in. So I hate that for her. Sheree and Fatum. I don't know about Fatum, y'all. I'm not a fan of Miss Fatum. Sheree gets emotional when Fatum is talking to her about Tyrone because Tyrone running around here and he's pretty much trying to get clout off of the relationship that he has with her. Fatum, what struck me was Fatum saying that I've been trying to hook her up with a better, decent guys or whatever for the past few years. So you've been dealing with this ain't SHI's dude all this time. And then now that he broke your heart, it is kind of like you want a little sympathy from us, but we don't care when your friends was out here trying to tell you that this ain't it and you should get somebody else. Like,
it's 2012, right?
Is
it what she told us at the beginning of 2012? That's why it took so long to build that damn house. The money was funny. Inconsistent.
So who was paying for the house?
I think Tyrone
is that
was
something Kandi asked? Did Kandi ask that question?
Her mama. Some people say because the house is in her mama name, so it could have been partially her mama's money and some of his money from scamming people.
Yep, and I think that's why Tyrone was trying to act like he couldn't be caught on film with Sheree or saying, and he said something in the season like, yeah, you part of the reason why I went back. And she's trying to make it seem like the shit don't make sense. But to me, I think Tyrone knows exactly what he's talking about, which means you have some connection to him and his illegal ties, which probably got to do with that house that took forever.
Wow. I don't know. I wouldn't. That wasn't.
I always thought that.
Okay.
I'm like, who was building a house for 10 damn years? And she wasn't.
I thought her kids were helping. I felt like it probably was. I was wondering what else she was doing, but I figured it probably was a family thing. But I never even considered like Tyrone being a person that was contributing to the household like that or taking care of something. That's okay. Gotcha.
How was she married to Bob and didn't get any money in a divorce? If you remember, by the time they got divorced, I don't think Bob had a lot of money. And on top of that, I feel like Bob did a lot of hiding money so that she wouldn't get it. Because remember when he was running away from her at the courthouse looking all stupid and he poked his tongue out? It made me feel like he had gotten away with hiding the bulk of his ends from her.
Dang. Well, we hate it. I also hate the fact that she scammed me with her tears. Because I did not believe that Sheree was crying. I'm sorry, I
Not
didn't.
even a little bit.
Like we couldn't even
I
see it.
believe
It's like you want
her.
our sympathy, but I can't even see you. Like, I mean, you believed it? I ain't believe.
Yeah, them ears was red. Them ears was red. I I actually did believe her just because I don't know. That was like a terrible cry. That was belching, and I would not play myself like that on TV. Well,
But
shit. I
Sheree
guess
would.
Sheree would.
I'm about to say Sheree would. Chips doing her things because she ain't got shit else to do. She gonna drag this shit out.
Barry talking about something he beneath her. I said, girl, this man, what did Trina say? You beneath me and you will always be. Girl, that's been the case. And you just not realizing that.
He was on top of
Girl.
his dick. That's why he was beneath you, because you was on his dick.
Very. Now she did do on the she did talk about it on the after show how he really has been looking for clout and she knows it was him that ended up leaking the to the tabloids and stuff. When he first got out of jail, she said she had met him at the airport, and when she met him at the airport, he was asking her, do she have a who gonna check me boo shirt, because he wanted to wear it when they come to the airport. And when they were together, she said that pictures and stuff were taken, and then next thing you know, it was leaked. And she was like, well, that's strange. So when they got to I guess Philadelphia or wherever he's at, or somewhere up north, wherever he's at, when they got there, she said he kept going in and out the room, being on the phone, kept going in and out. And she just said some stuff was just like a little off. And then one of the guys, I guess he had got some other cameraman or somebody to take a picture. And they were like, we need Sheree in the next shot. So he definitely was giving clout. I don't understand that though. Talking about he need to tell his story, but we don't even know you. So what do you need to tell us? Like we really don't. It's nothing for us to know. But okay.
Sell
You
it
wanna
to
know?
WeTV. Sell it to WeTV, honey. We'll listen
Sell it
over there on Love After Lockup, honey, but we don't care over here on Real Housewives.
You
Right?
know what? I think that Sheree should figure out how to make that double bag if she can. I think she should. I mean, Phaedra went over there to marriage boot camp, so she can go ahead and go over there and
They
probably,
gave
make
us
some work.
absolutely nothing over there at
She
Marriage Boot
should.
Camp. Didn't give us a motherfucking thing.
What at marriage boot camp?
Yeah, Phaedra didn't give nothing. That relationship wasn't real. His hair wasn't real.
Good night.
Like she
I
wanted
didn't
to
even see the guy.
Not the
What
man hair not
the guy
being
look
real
like?
bonded.
It was given S curl. It was given juicy fruit. It was given S curl. It was given late 80s.
Oh.
Thank you so much for the super chat, Danielle. We do not care, sir. We don't. Thank you for the super chat. We do not care. Drew and her mama. It really don't matter. We don't really got to talk too much about Drew, girl. Let's skip down. Let me go back so we
You
can talk
didn't
about.
think that was weird that the spirit person said that she need to watch out for a woman or a man with the spirit of a woman?
Like
I
a
mean,
husband.
I
Like
guess it was a little weird because my thoughts went straight to her husband, Ralph.
Me too. That's why I went.
Ralph or Ralph's
Or that
side
assistant
person.
Anthony. Oh. Yeah,
Well,
I don't know why the mama felt the need to you know what was interesting? I will say I'm glad you mentioned to talk about it. What was interesting to me was Drew telling her mama that Ralph had to cut off the assistant, but the mama didn't even dive deeper into that conversation. She just wanted to talk about this book that he was doing and him adopting the child. And I'm like, you ain't hear what your daughter just said? She had to cut this man off. You know what I'm saying? Or she had to, the man had to cut the assistant off because she felt uncomfortable. You ain't dive into that. And it's like, why are you diving into him adopting the child? And I get that. I know y'all want that to happen, but how long have they been married? I understood kind of where Ralph was coming from. That is kind of like, I guess, a sensitive spot for the dad. But at the same time, you are the one that's taking care of the child. So if that's what you want to do, that would be okay. But I feel like once Ralph accepts adoption for this child, I don't know if his biological dad will still be held responsible for like child support and stuff like that. I haven't experienced that process.
He probably not paying child support anyway. He just got out of jail.
Right. I also
that's
last season, remember?
They met.
When they sat down at the gotcha. Yeah.
She said they ain't seen him in a minute. But for me, the thing that aggravated me with Drew in this situation is because you're talking about how he doesn't even treat your son the same as he does you guys' biological kids.
Right.
But yet he writing a motherfucking book about how to be a great stepfather that the side chick assistant got him a deal on. That sounds like bullshit to me. That sounds like a way to make you feel bad about making him get his little easy access the fuck up out y'all house. And now he wants you to feel bad so he can get her back in there. So he's making her seem as if she's more valuable than she really is so that he can easily get her back in. Because remember, he was saying that he resented her. He's been dragging that shit out trying to get that girl back in that house, I bet. And Drew is stupid. No disrespect, Drew, but you give vacant, you give thirsty, you give so happy to have Ralph be your man. When we're wondering why. He don't treat you well.
She gives all of those things.
Okay, we can tell he don't treat you well by the way you argue with the other women. You tit for tat and nitpick the fuck out the other women, and that's because that's the way Ralph do you.
Like whatever Sheree said, you don't know how to give a compliment because you don't get them. I laughed, but I was like, damn, that was true. When it comes to Ralph and his child, I think he just don't want to adopt him.
You think so?
Similar to the reasons Bonnie said, because he treats him differently. And also, I feel like if Josiah is actually adoptable, that means that his father would have already signed away his parental rights. So if the father doesn't have rights on him and he's adoptable, why wouldn't Ralph do it? And I think it's just something he don't want to do, but it's real weird that you want to make money off of that. You might as well adopt.
This was awesome. This is good. You guys brought in some things I didn't think about or consider. Come on. Yes. Come on, OLFP. Come on. Yes, this is good. Thank you. Thank you. James Potts, thank you so much for the super chat. All these damn prophets, but Drew still can't see the future. I feel bad for her a little. Thank you so much for the super chat.
And also, how the fuck you at the end of the episode talking about black magic, but got prophets calling you on the phone to tell you about strange women? Make it make sense, Drew.
You're right. The prophet was talking to her mama, and the prophet last season was talking about Latoya. You are so right. It's a fine
That
line.
is fact.
But we real freaked out by incense and
absolutely.
Okay.
But you just and then you navigating this entire party based on what this lady said. You trying to figure out who the one she talking about instead of looking at your husband before you left the house.
And who trusts the prophet in top to bottom Louis Vuitton? Like last season.
That's another thing. You was trusting men that was trying to take advantage of women. You was trusting men being hoes. We can't trust you or your mama discernment when it come to prophets.
Oh, embarrassing. Whew. Well, we also can't trust Miss Fatum. I'm saying Fatum. Her name Fatum, but she made me feel away. Okay. When she sat up there and pulled that damn background check and gonna sit up there, I felt like she was lying. Like I didn't do it. My friend did it. I was just complaining about Drew, so they just magically just pulled it out. I feel like we all have friends that we know who to go to for. Okay, if you tell this one friend something, they probably gonna be like, okay, girl, let me research this and find this out for you, girl. Like you know who you're going to. What's up, buddy?
Not for twat. I'm done.
I just saw that.
Oh my God. Yo. For twat. Thank you so much, Kenya Jones, for the super chat. You guys are so smart and entertaining. Way better than any of the shows you're reviewing. Brains, very attractive. Thank you so much, Kenya. We appreciate you. Thanks for the super chat. Yes, but I felt the way about what Fatum did because I felt like it really wasn't that deep for you to want to even get a background check on this woman. Like, I don't think that Drew really did that much of anything to you for you to do that. So now it's just a little shysty for me. And it's like, Sheree, you got a friend up here that's up here pulling background checks, looking out for you and others.
She wants to be on the
But
show.
you couldn't take her word when it came down to Tyrone. You just wanted to continue to mess with him and stuff. Like,
But you
it's
know,
not
these girls
adding
don't
up.
trust. They don't trust nothing when they come to these niggas. Okay, that dick touch your heart, bitch. You don't believe nothing.
Well,
your
then
friend.
you're right. There's the answer there.
And
Definitely
plus,
when it touches
she
that.
using Fatum because she knows she ain't got no storyline. She knows she boring the fuck out of us walking around her house eating Lay's potato chips.
So it's giving backup. It's giving, let me bring her on the show so I can have somebody that's going, what Nisi say Kandi do? You said she'll bring people on the show to say what she don't want to say?
Yeah.
That's what Fatum is.
Yeah, that's what
that. Every time Fatum come around, it feels like a casting call. Only because Manetta is there. And like Manetta comes on the show, well, we really don't see much from her, but she's like a friend of the show, but kind of not really, and she's just authentically herself, and she's just there. But then Fatum is there too, so you see the same plus one. So I'm like, this is a casting call, and Fatum is looking for her name to fame.
Maybe that's why Drew was ignoring her so bad at the table, and I actually thoroughly enjoyed the fact that she was ignoring the hell out of her. Like,
she was ignoring her because Drew never had nothing to say when people come with facts. Drew never has anything to say.
But I feel like that, like when you pull like one of them basic, I never have, but I'm making an assumption. When you pull these basic background checks, it's gonna have not aliases, but other people that's connected to this person. So I feel like there was nothing for Drew to really come back because this woman was on some humbug at the end of the day. And y'all trying to link her, oh, your husband uses these aliases at the hotel. Why I feel like Kenya threw that in? I feel like Kenya threw that in. I think Kenya, I don't think that lady said that. I think Kenya, I don't know if she said the hotel, but she said, yeah. Your husband used an alias Danielle when he went to Florida or something. I'm like, I think Kenya threw that in.
I think did old messy ass. I love you. I ain't gonna lie.
Kenya was like, she was. I don't know. I don't want to hold too much. Drew only addressed the Danielle alias, but I'm like, don't famous people use aliases so people can't track them down? Like, you're gonna get a phone and another person. You're gonna get a phone bill in somebody else's name. You gonna do? I was telling them the story about how I called the operator and asked them to connect me to Usher Raymond. The phone rung and it wasn't really Usher Raymond. So that was my example of he not gonna have no phone in his name. So I wonder if that's what they're doing. But Drew and Ralph aren't that level.
Right.
They're not at that level of fame. Said hello. It was a payphone right outside the movie theater. My mama dropped me off. I was waiting for her to pick me up. I clicked that payphone, whatever number, the £0, whatever. Can you connect me to Usher Raymond? That phone started ringing. Me and my friends was like, oh my God. Oh, definitely wasn't no Usher answering the phone.
Lord have all of the mercy. I cannot. Jeez Louise, girl. What else ended up happening that night? Lisa and Sonya. I actually like that Lisa got crunk with Sonya, y'all. Sonya's not a fave of mine. I actually enjoyed it, but at the same time, I felt like, Lisa, girl, you so happy to be back on the show, girl. Because when you went over there on the nightcap with Carlos, that's all you were talking about in so many words. Like, you felt the way about the fact that whenever Nene was asked or whoever was asked, who would they bring back? They never mentioned your name. So it sounds like you're itching to get back on reality TV again. And I can't say I would be mad if we continue to see Lisa throughout the season on the show. I wouldn't be mad, but I also feel like, Sonya, you talk a lot too. So why you sit up here trying to tell this lady to shut up? She only doing probably what you do.
Okay. So I agree with that, but I also felt like, Lisa, ma'am, school back. You don't go here anymore. Okay, you graduated. You don't go here anymore. Step back, scoot back, chill the fuck out. You're doing too much. She was taking over the conversation way too much. It was giving drunk. A lot of the ladies were giving drunk throughout this whole scene. I do feel like Sonya was, just trying to like edge in and have a word in edgewise. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I also feel like Sonya annoying as fuck a little bit. So when she got, bucked on and she kind of sat back, it tickled us because we wanted her to buck back. Like she said, you're going to see Sonya. They want to see Sonya. It's like, well, bitch, where was Sonya? Because you got little Lisa Wu over here barking at you like a Chihuahua dog and you're just over there, Doberman picture style, but back it up. So I just kind of feel like it was funny to me. It was funny, but I don't want to see Lisa back. I don't.
You don't want to see Lisa? I wouldn't mind seeing Lisa.
No, because I feel like people always miss somebody and then forget how boring they were when they were actually on the show, i.e. Phaedra.
But I feel like you can't say that necessarily, like, because they may be at a different place. It's a different group of women. You know what I'm saying? So they might bring something a little different. She did, and I'm really just going off of that particular night. So she might bring something different. She might bring a little energy.
She didn't do all that in earlier seasons, did she?
No,
I don't think so.
She was the peacemaker in earlier
She did.
seasons.
I don't even know if she did that on what was it, Hollywood Divas? Was it Hollywood Divas she was on?
No, on was it? Yeah, Hollywood Divas. She was not like that on there.
Yeah,
she was
she
a nice
wasn't.
girl on there either. She
It
was
was
keeping it cute on that one too.
Damn.
You right.
I tried to defend you, Lisa.
I mean,
I tried to defend
Lisa either because
Girl, what?
it's gonna turn into what this last season was, where they had the seniors and the nieces, and I don't want to see it. I think it's gonna be awkward. Lisa was doing the most, but I was happy to see Sonya kind of
get clapped back on.
Sonya, keep the same energy.
Yeah.
But Lisa Wu she reminded me of my auntie when she be drinking.
Now I do think when I'm thinking about Sonya, the only time I kind of gave Sonya, like I had her back a little bit, was when Drew approached her at the counter when they were drawing, and she talking about some of the dumbest thing, because the lady said that they don't be busy like that. And I'm just like, Drew, you doing what Sonya just did to you a few episodes ago, fishing for absolutely nothing. I feel like Drew was doing too much. I don't know. Yeah. I didn't think it was that deep.
I think it was.
Really?
Because I remember on the Drop It with Drew episode, I was pissed that Sonya even said that to Ralph. And then after you said it to Ralph, you go and you apologize to Drew because you're glad that she invited. I'm glad Drew said something, but I think she handled it in the way that Sonya should have been handling it.
Yeah,
What that situation told me more about was Sonya, because every time Sonya has had an audience to argue with Drew, she'll participate. But the one time Drew pulled her to the side and they talked one-on-one, she didn't have an audience, so she didn't want to participate, and she just walked away. Because she needs to publicly display her dislike for Drew.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Listen, I felt like you meant it to be shady. So I felt like Drew had every right to check you, but I also felt like her husband is bitch made. Like, why would you even bring that up? That was so small. There was no need to really bring that shit up. But okay, sir, you brought it up. If I was her, I would have let the shit fly. I wouldn't have even say nothing about it. We're in disagreement. We're not getting along. Any little slick shit she say, but I'm gonna tell y'all what I did think. And I was wondering, Sonya, you a freak? What's going on? Because I felt like she was flirting with Ralph. It was almost like I'm trying to see if I can pull your husband in some way. Because listen, what reason do you have to go over there and ask Ralph about what you should do with your ovaries? Talk to me. Y'all not cool. And then she pulled him. She touched
and you not talking to his wife.
She touched his arm, and then whenever bitches be touching arms, I'm almost glued into that shit. On top of that, she also was the one whose panties he was vibrating when they were on the bus.
I forgot about that, Bondi. Shit, girl, I thought you was reaching for a second, but when you took it home, you took it home. Oh my gosh.
I thought you was reaching for a second.
Listen, I know. And that's why I'm like, maybe not. But with like all of that together, and it's not that I feel like she really want him, but almost like if I can make Drew feel a way by having a conversation with him, then I will, because I'm that annoyed with Drew. And my husband ain't here either, and I'm low-key mad at him because he's not here. So, but like, what other reason would you have? Like, really, why would you know Ralph ain't all right in the head? So why you going over to Ralph asking him what you should do? If not just to have a moment with him.
And then worrying about how busy they are. Now that I think about it. So hold up, let me go back. When she said the busy comment, I was a little confused. I'm like, do you mean busy as in getting busy, or do you mean busy as in like business wise? Like, what do you mean? Like
business. I thought they meant business.
Okay.
But I didn't think Ralph was being shady. I thought Sonya was being shady.
Sonya was being shady. I don't think he was, but I think he was letting her know he knows that she don't really like his wife. When he was like, I know, y'all may not think we do a lot. Like, to me, I think that was, him saying he knows what everybody says about them.
Did he say that? Or did he say, I thought he said, we're just as busy, if not more than y'all.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Oh, if not more than y'all. Okay.
Exactly. That's the part that made me feel like you are tapping into something that you've already heard them say, which is why you ran back to Drew with that information. Like, babe, let me tell you, because you was telling me what she said. Well, let me tell you what she said. Like, that's what yeah, but I didn't like the way Drew handled the conversation, because I feel like she was being so petty and so small about it.
That part, when she said, "Are you coming for my name?" I said,
"Yeah, like,
down.
Girl, come on." Like, that's why I wasn't mad when Sonya walked away, because it was like, "Girl, I'm coming for your name, girl. Good night."
Like, bye.
Because you're just about to argue, and I'm not giving you. And then she does that passive aggressive.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's annoying because she's like, I'm just using my words, girl. Don't make me knock the shit out you talking about you using your words, bitch. I'm gonna use my hands. Get away from me.
Use my hands, not for real. That's how Sonya had me feel this whole season. But I have to say, I think she's good for the show as long as Drew was there. And if Drew ain't there, you ain't got no storyline.
We see now that she's joined forces with the other two antagonists. It makes me feel like, it's given. Drew's she's on the side on the slick, but it's giving Kandi and Kenya versus Marlo and Sheree with Sonya tacked on, because Sonya wasn't real enough to fit into Kenya and Candy's clique.
For sure, because they're gonna get into it, Kenya and Sonya, right? Later in the season.
I can't wait. I'm gonna have my popcorn and my wine ready. I can't wait.
That's gonna be a mess.
On a yellow dress.
Call me Sonya.
Sonya. What about the incense? I don't think that was healthy or safe. Putting incense up there, blowing. I've never heard of that.
Did you see them do it on Dubai this last?
No, I haven't seen the latest episode.
Sarah did it to Nina. They were having like a little
this week's.
Yes, they were having a get together at her father's house, who is Hindu. And she had the incense because they like to smell good. And that's what the incense is supposed to do. And she literally got down, pulled her dress up, and like whirled the incense.
So this is a thing.
Yeah, it's in their culture. So that's why I honestly, and I understood that it was a part of their culture because I've seen that before. Because I find Indian culture very beautiful, and I know about like the incense and the spices and the colors and all of that shit. They love that. So I was like, and also like as a Catholic, I was offended by like the connotation that because it was incense, it was something black magic, like burn frankincense and myrrh in Catholic church every Sunday because that's what they brought to Jesus. So I just kind of was like, really, Drew? But you were right when we were in the DMs and you was talking about the way they edited it together to look like, witches kind of having a ceremony type situation. They did edit it.
That editing was horrible.
But it was they was all drunk and Kenya was laughing her ass off. And honestly, I was laughing too. So like, I feel like if I was there, I would have been fucked up and laughing just like them, probably on the floor.
Hell yeah.
Laughing my ass off. And then Marlo
was so drunk.
Marlo was so miserable the whole time. I feel like she was hating the entire time. Like when they were like, yes, queen, she rolled her eyes to what Kenya said. I was just like, why are you looking for an opportunity to hate, bitch? You miserable.
And Kenya was peeping her the whole time, even though she was drunk. You know what I find so funny? Kandi, at some point you're gonna have to stop, okay, girl? I'm sorry. You're just gonna have to stop. She always overextends herself for people that shit on her. And I don't understand that.
Marlo.
I was like, what
I do not like, well, no. She be sitting up here supporting this girl, and this girl still turn around and be dragging her. Like, I'm like, at some point, you needed to get something off your chest. And even though you and Kandi just got into it not too long ago, Kandi literally sat up there, listened to you, and gave you advice. And I'm just like, that was nice of her. That's a testament to Kandi's character. But I do think just overall, when you reflect back on how Kandi has been treated over the years and stuff, it's like every person she helps out, they shit on her. You know, all the way back to, you know, Portia, Flatline song, whatever, put her in the play and stuff. It's like they always play on her. It's like, Kandi, you're gonna have to draw the line at some point. So that's why I do not really mind Kandi coming out clapping off the way that she does in some of these interviews. She used to try and keep it really cute. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like,
I hope
you're gonna have to let them know.
Energy though, because I like that she's clapping back in these interviews, but she'll eventually tolerate Marlo if they continue to film together, and she'll kiki with her too. To the point to where Marlo may think y'all are friends, but you know y'all not. Like the same way she treated Portia. And that's, like you said, she gonna have to stop. I wish she just... I hope she just lets Marlo know what it is, and it's like, girl, I don't fuck with you. Don't speak to me type stuff.
We're gonna see.
Or Marlo's not invited to my events type stuff.
I want Kandi to be a tourist and, you know, not forgive these hoes. Because essentially I feel like Sheree shitted on her just like Marlo did. Sheree was waiting to like throw her to the wolves for a storyline. She did it to me before Marlo did. Talking about you weren't a real friend to me, Kandi. Like, girl, you ain't never been a real friend to Kandi. What the fuck are you even talking about? Cut it out. And then with Marlo, I feel like Marlo has been trying to drag Kandi, and then with everything that Kandi has done for her, it's just really fucked up. And so I feel like you should never be nice to Marlo again. I feel like if ever you feel the need to say something disrespectful to Marlo, you should say it. Like reckless abandon.
That's where I'm at. Yes, that's what I want. That's the energy I want her to have at all times.
Yes. When
you don't even exist.
You go. She said, "I'm not Michelle Obama. You go low. I'm going low with you. I want you to keep that energy, Kandi. Keep it."
Well, there's that. Okay. Anything else on Housewives?
No.
Any other?
I wish I was there. That's it.